Why is the topic of baby loss so taboo? Talking about death and grief in general can make for an awkward conversation, but talk about the death of a baby can send people running the other way. Today, we are going to discuss why miscarriage is one of the topics that makes others so uncomfortable and why it isn't talked about. I will share 5 things we can do to start breaking the silence on miscarriage. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our weekly podcast. I'm Tony Brabeck with Our Little Sparrows, Pregnancy and Infant Loss Support. If you'd like to know more about us, please check out the link in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell to receive alerts when we release new video podcasts every Sunday. If miscarriage affects 1 in 4 women, most likely there is at least one person that you know that has had one or been impacted by one. If this is so common, why can't we talk about it? In order to dive into why this is so, we need to discuss grief in our society. Let's face it, our society is not a safe place for grievers. People don't usually like to talk about sad things. We live in a world where we grow up learning that it's not okay to cry or show emotions because it somehow shows weakness and fragility. We are supposed to be strong. In the workplace, we may get 3 days of bereavement for a death in the family, but after that, we're supposed to jump right back into work. We are told many things that only minimize our pain, like time heals all wounds and all things happen for a reason, or just keep busy and you'll get through it, as if we're just supposed to accept that as reasonable and move forward. I would even go as far as to say our society can even dictate what is okay to grieve and what is not. It's okay to grieve the loss of a grandparent, but an unborn baby? That gets uncomfortable for a lot of people real fast. For today's episode, we're specifically talking about a miscarriage, a pregnancy that ends on its own within the first 20 weeks of pregnancy. However, this can apply to all types of pregnancy or infant loss. Why does this make people so uncomfortable? There are so many guesses that one could make, and the list would just go on and on and on. I think it really comes down to 4 things. 1, it's unfamiliar to them. People don't know what they don't know. People don't know the actual impact, physical and emotional, of pregnancy loss. If they themselves have not had a miscarriage or don't know personally someone that did, they will likely not know how to respond in a helpful way. 2, it makes people uncomfortable because they don't know how to cope with the death of a baby. So they avoid. People find a way to escape or change the subject as fast as they can. Some may not even think it was a baby and that it's not really a loss. Therefore, their responses can be to avoid or to say something that is not helpful at all. Third, people are not properly educated on miscarriage. Hence, why we are doing a series on miscarriage misconceptions. There are ideas and mentalities that make people believe that a miscarriage is less than what it really is. Having a miscarriage doesn't just mean we are no longer pregnant. We experienced losing a baby. And fourth, people are uncomfortable with grief and emotions. Death, grief, loss, these are all very hard and difficult things to talk about. People are afraid to bring it up so they don't upset us, and also so it's not awkward for them. So what can we do to create an environment that enables others to feel safe and supported? First, we can share. If you've experienced losing a baby, either by miscarriage, stillbirth, or other pregnancy and infant loss, when you feel ready, I encourage you to start sharing your story. There are so many different ways that we can do this. You can share privately with your family and friends, or publicly. You can blog about it, you can vlog about it, post on social media or podcasts. There are so many different platforms that we can share our story with the public. Even if only 1 or 2 people read about it, that's 1 or 2 people that now know more than they did before. Share about your baby and what it means to you to be their mother or father. You can share as much as you are comfortable with, and the more you start to share, the more comfortable you will be able to talk about it. You will find that when other people come to know your story, people will start to come to you and share with you how their baby loss has impacted them. Secondly, we can listen. Even if you have not been impacted by baby loss, whether at all directly or indirectly, I encourage you to open your heart and listen. If you know someone who has lost a baby, invite them to share with you about it. Sit with them even if it's awkward, and just be present. You don't even have to say a whole lot. In fact, the best times of support we've received is when space was given for us to just be and feel what we were feeling in that moment. The third thing we can do is to research. There's a lot more information and personal stories about people's own experience of baby loss. We can read about it, find blogs, vlogs, social media accounts that support pregnancy and infant loss awareness. Read and see what is being shared, what is being felt. I guarantee your eyes and heart will be opened. Fourth, be the example. We as parents of pregnancy loss have the opportunity to set the example of how to be a good listener and to genuinely show care and support for someone going through a miscarriage. Be for someone else what you valued most from someone that genuinely supported you. We can model how to hold a safe space for people to feel comfortable, to express their hurt and pain, and to talk about their baby freely. Then, when they are in a place to support others, they can model the same. Fifth, be the educator. This means being an advocate for yourself and also for others to come. Look for opportunities to respectfully and in kindness educate others on what it means to support someone going through a miscarriage. Connect with physicians' offices, midwives, doulas, church groups, mental health professionals, other community organizations. Start having conversations with your employers or HR about the type of care that and support that would be helpful to someone in the workplace. Again, this can be done in so many different ways. You can even start your own YouTube channel. You may not see changes right away, but the point is to get the conversation rolling and invite others to engage in the discussion as well. It starts with creating awareness of all that encompasses a miscarriage. It begins with sharing our own story and how we navigated through that difficult time and how we are still navigating through it, how it's still with us, and we learn from it every day. It is sharing with people how much we miss our baby and what that baby means to us. If we exhibit to others that we feel safe to talk about our baby, then we can only hope that it will inspire others to start sharing their baby stories so people can learn from them. It can start with us. We hope you found this episode helpful, and we hope you feel you are not alone. You are loved. Your baby will always be cherished. We are here to support you in any way that we can. If you got value out of this video, please give us a thumbs up so others can find us. And don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell to get updates for when we release new content every Sunday. If you liked this episode and want to see another video podcast, click or tap here. If you're looking for more in-depth information, we have a grief series called The Pregnancy Journey, Grieving from Diagnosis to the Loss of Your Baby and Beyond. Click or tap here.